Hello and welcome to the Wonderful World of Knitting podcast, a new episode. Yes, I am back after a long break from podcasting. Life took over, and I've been wanting to record for you for some time now, and never got the chance. But today I'm taking the opportunity because I have a bit of free time this evening, and my lovely partner unexpectedly offered to take our daughter to gymnastics this evening. So yeah, that leaves me with about 2 hours now, so I can record for you. Like I said, I've been wanting to do this for some time now. I have a channel here on YouTube, Wonderful World of Knitting, and this is where I share all my knitting adventures with anyone who cares to listen. So yes, to any new viewers who's just stumbled across my video, my name is McLochlainn, live in London, originally from Germany, and I'm a knitter. So without further ado, I'm going to jump straight in because although I have not been podcasting, I have still been knitting. That will never change. I will knit for the rest of my life. And so that means plenty of FOs. So we're going to go through them in chronological order. So in today's video, I'm planning only to show you my finished objects basically since I last recorded. So we're talking over a year, and there are quite a few. Let's count them. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 garments, we have 1 shawl, and we have 2 hats. So yeah, let's go through them. I'm gonna jump straight in, settle in, make yourself comfortable, and prepare for some nice knitting. In fact, please do grab your knitting whilst you're watching this, and just enjoy. We just love to indulge, don't we, and watch other knitters to see what they're up to. I mean, I absolutely love watching knitting podcasts, knitting along. Stockinette Stitch is my favorite, where you can just switch off and relax, and your mind wanders off. So please do that, relax. First finished object is the Timepiece Cardigan, and here it is. It hasn't got any buttons yet because I think for now I decided to leave it without buttons. It does have a button band though, so I'm going to just pop that on for you. This is the Timepiece Cardigan by Ailbíona McLochlainn, I want to say. Yeah, that's right. Timepiece Cardigan, Ailbíona McLochlainn. And I've knitted this in Nutiden by Honor held double. So this is a very woolly, rustic cardigan. I could possibly, if I can manage, I shall add some footage here on the side. So I'm just gonna stand up for you. So it is a very oversized cardigan, and it has button holes, but I have not added buttons. So at the moment, the way I wear this in the winter is just closed off like that. Just a nice throw on in case you get cold, you know, very easy. And I'm actually planning to take this into the office and leave that cardigan there in the office. So whenever it gets cold, I have something there. Because that happens, that you expect it to be warm, and then because my colleagues switch on the aircon, it actually gets really cold. So it would be good, it would be handy to have a piece that you can just throw on. And I just love this color. Look at this beautiful mossy green, and Nutiden is just always, they have such rich colors. Look at this. Isn't it gorgeous? The Timepiece Cardigan is a very different style, different to what I went for. So I swayed away from the actual pattern quite a bit and made several modifications. Because it's been some time, obviously, over a year, I can't quite. Oh no, I do remember a couple of modifications. So because my gauge was really off and I was worried about fit, I continued knitting the McLochlainn increases. So that's what made it quite large, and so that's why I ended up with a really oversized cardigan, and I love it. Yeah, so it was a bit of a mess in the end actually with the sizing, I must admit, because I didn't plan to make it so big, you know, I have to be honest. But it still came out really nice, and yeah, Timepiece Cardigan. And that was my first finished object. I just want to show you actually just one more time the pattern itself, because if you look at this, it is very different to what I have come up with. And they actually call this the tennis cardigan, because apparently tennis player used to kind of wear this style of cardigan. Also in terms of the construction as well, before we move on with the Timepiece Cardigan, you cast on here at the back, and then you knit the increases. Yeah, so it's actually, it was quite an unusual construction, not something I have done before. So a bit different to your standard raglan, because you had to pick up stitches as well, I believe, after you knitted one rectangle. But yeah, don't quote me on that, I might be wrong. Now our second finished object we're moving along is the Arabella Shawl. And I want to show you the pattern first. Arabella Shawl, this is a very, very old pattern and project that I bought over 10 years ago, and I have finally managed to finish that. That was actually a UFO in my corner for a very long time, and I said one day, I'm going to finish this now. And I put everything aside and just focused on that. It is by Skeino, and it was originally sold as a kit. The pattern now, this pattern for this shawl, where you have a color change, a gradient, gradual color change. This pattern was sold as a, and I think even still now is available for free. But back then you purchased it with the kit, so with the yarn together. And I shall show you the shawl now. It came out really beautifully. And I have worn it a couple of times as well. The Arabella Shawl. Very easy to knit as well. I want to make sure I'm showing you the right side. It is a very, very oversized, large shawl, knit flat in garter stitch, with these increases here in between each different color. I just want to stand back and show you a bit better. And it is stunning, it is beautiful. The way this is knit, you start here, you cast on here, and you then work short rows with wraps and turns, and you knit that triangle, okay? Then here you're going to work not an increase row. These are decorative yarn overs. So that means you do yarn over, knit two together. When you then come to this side, you then cast on stitches here with the new color, and then you knit the next triangle. So and so on and so on. And as you can see, it has a very gradual color change. And then in the end, you knit back and forth with the scraps. And I'm just going to pop this on as well. Yep, there you go, the Arabella Shawl. So our next finished object, and I think I will take this off because we're in the summer now. Yes, as I said earlier, we live in the UK, in London, so it is our summer months here. Now we are in August, so I don't think I need the shawl right now. And our third finished object is my first Ranunculus. And I'm sorry for anybody who's bought, because, you know, God, how many Ranunculus have we seen, right, on YouTube? But it is still such an amazingly popular pattern. I'm not even gonna explain what the Ranunculus is. Everybody knows. It's probably the most popular pattern. And it is not in a good state at the moment, because I did have it in my wardrobe. And but yeah, let me hold it up for you. The Ranunculus, with this beautiful detail around the yoke. And I'm actually just going to pop that on for you. I've knitted this in Drops Belle. It has short rows to raise the back. Oh, it really is so nice, and I love this color. Yes, knitted this in Drops Belle, which is a cotton. I can tell you what is in there. Cotton, viscose and linen. Okay, so there's no animal fibers in this, so this is a summer garment. I'm just going to stand up. It has these creases here, and yeah, we all know the Ranunculus, so don't have much to say about that. It was my first Ranunculus, and I can understand the hype about it. I can understand it. Simply just as I think there's one reason in my mind why this pattern works so well for everybody is because you don't have to choose a size before you start. You don't have to swatch. You basically just start, and as you knit, you then choose your size. And you can make it work, as you know, you can make it work for almost any size and for any style yarn, okay? So I think this is why it is so popular. But still, overall, in my mind, it is no different to any other yoked tee or sweater. However, because obviously, you know, they say, oh, you know, you want knitted one ranunculus, you can't just knit one ranunculus, right? There's this standing joke where you have to at least knit two ranunculi. So I think because I have a summer ranunculus, one day probably in my life, when I get very bored, should I ever get bored, I will knit a winter ranunculus, then the sweater version. Yeah, but other than that, I really can't really see why. I mean, yeah, it is a nice pattern, but like I said, I have knitted other, I have knitted other lace yoked sweaters where you've got the increases distributed around the yoke. And actually, as of now, I'm actually knitting in a different I'm knitting a different yoked tee, summer tee. I'm knitting the salty air tee, and again, you know, you've got a lace detail around the yoke, so you know, it's, in my mind, like I said, it's no different to any other of such style. So that was the ranunculus. So we are moving along. So now my next object, or I've got fond memories with this one, because this was kind of a, not a panic cast on, but it was a desperate cast on. So this takes me back to last summer when I went to Turkey with my two girls, and I basically needed to sort out a airplane knitting project where I've got stockinette stitch straight away, right, where I can just quickly knit, and I needed a big project as well. I mean, I could have taken a sock or anything, but I wanted a big project that keeps me busy, especially on the airport and airplane. So like I said, I needed something where I can start with stockinette stitch straight away, because that's my travel knitting. And so I then quickly decided to knit the So Summer shirt by Jessie May. Ta-da! Oh, there's all these creases in my knits. Yeah, So Summer shirt by Jessie May. And so what I did is, because so I was basically I was actually looking for a bottom up construction, because then when you start on the bottom, you cast on and you start knitting from the hem up. Okay, so that's what I was looking for, and this fit the bill. It has a folded hem, if you can see here, where this is basically knit double. Yeah, this is double fabric here, a folded hem. I can't quite explain it now how it's worked. I'm rubbish at explaining things anyway. But yeah, it has folded hems on the hem as well as on the sleeve. Can you see? Because it does give you a nice effect where it just rolls over like that. You knit from the bottom up. You knit up here. Oh my god, it's so long ago. But it's just a typical standard construction where you knit the two fronts separately, you knit the back separately, and then I did these are the shoulders, so there's a shoulder seam, and this looks to me like a 3-needle bind off. I cannot say for sure, because like I said, I can't remember now exactly the pattern because it was so long ago, but this looks to me like a 3-needle bind off. You then pick up stitches here and knit the sleeves. So Summer shirt by Jessie May, very popular design. I shall show you the pattern. I like to print out my patterns. There we have it. So summer shirt. I don't want to show too much. Here in her example, it is quite oversized, but I opted for a less oversized version. And let me just put that back. And also interestingly, and you don't actually see this when you look at the photo of the project photo. When you look at the project photo, you don't see this, but there are actually increases here. So you cast on at the bottom, yeah, and it's quite narrow here, and then you actually increase. Can you see it here now, where this goes wider? So you increase to accommodate for the bust, and I shall put this on for you as well. So this is another summer garment that I knitted last year. And I really like it when our projects have a history and they remind us of a time when we knitted this project. That's what I really love about knitting. But yeah, it's wonderful. I love the color. It is not just a solid color. There are some variations in it, as you can see. And oh, I don't think I told you the yarn. I shall tell you now. I knitted this with sock yarn, okay? So this is actually true sock yarn, 4-ply. And I believe I bought 2 hanks. And I bought it in, I bought it from a Dyer in Germany. And they're called Schwedenrot Yarns. There you can see a luxury sock. And this is in the colorway Rusty. I believe she's still dyeing yarn. So if you want to check her out, they do make beautiful yarns, because yeah, this is stunning, I think. I did buy some other hanks as well. Once when I purchased this, I couldn't decide, so I had to go for a few. So yeah, there you have it. This is the So Summer shirt by Jessie May. Very popular pattern. And we all, I mean, most knitters love stockinette stitch, right? It is so comforting. And I don't mind bottom up. It's a nice change. I don't always have to knit top down garments. Yeah. I feel like we're whisking through these, but never mind, that's okay. Make it nice, sweet and short, right? Now, next up, I actually knitted 2 hats. So now that brings us more into the autumn and winter of last year in 2024. This is my first hat, and I shall put it on for you. And I think actually I knitted this for my daughter, but she never really wore it. And isn't this color as well so nice? This is the My Baker's hat. My Baker's hat is a free pattern, if I remember correctly. You start at the brim, you knit a bit of stockinette stitch, you fold it up on itself, and you knit the ground decreases. Quick and easy. And the yarn I've had for such a long time, so I cannot tell you anymore what yarn it is. Unfortunately, I've had this like forever. So basically it was scrap knitting, but it is very nice. It is single ply though, single ply yarn. Not sure if you can see this. I'm not a fan of single ply yarn. I like my yarn to have a proper twist in it. But yeah, that's My Baker's hat. If you're looking for a nice simple hat pattern, I would recommend it. Because like I said, it is available for free. Now and then straight after, I knitted another hat, and this one also is very popular. I think I got inspired by another podcaster, and she also knitted, she knits loads of hats, in fact. So this is the 2x2 by Anne Gagnon. The lady I was inspired by, her name is Tash, and she's mostly knitting on YouTube. So I'm just going to pop this on. Oh, I got lots of hair flying about the place. 2x2 all over whipped hat by Anne Gagnon. And if you look at those decreases here, doesn't it look nice how it comes together? if you're not careful, you do have this little pop-up here at the back, and that's very unattractive. So in my mind, so what I do is I just roll this up. And then it does come out a bit too short, to be fair. But still, you know, I could even here sew this, stitch this down so it can stay like that. Yeah, another hat. I'm not really a hat knitter, so, but it's a nice palette cleanser. And now we're coming to a very, very interesting garment, another summer garment that I funnily enough finished in December. So sometimes I do get an itch to knit a summer garment in the winter months, and why not, right? Why not? And this one has been on my knit list for actually quite some time, because I don't really have any camisoles or anything like that in my wardrobe, any knitted camisoles. And so I'm just going to show you. Oh, isn't that nice? What really attracted me to this pattern is this here, this detail here at the bust. Can you see this? This is where you do the increases. And I'm just going to pop this on for you as well. Okay, so here I am back. I'm wearing my finished object. So here are the bust increases where you knit the two cups separately. Oh, I really love this. This is so nice. Yeah. And also, oh, did I mention the pattern? The pattern is the Svila Camisole by Caidree. And I will show you the pattern. Yeah, I think I really do appreciate her patterns. I've seen a few from her, and they look really nice, polished, you know, thought through, nice pictures, very lovely. So yeah, the Svila Camisole by Caidree. And the reason why I decided to knit this is over other camisoles, even, you know, these ones that just have a strap. I mean, I struggle with bra straps, to be fair. I cannot go without a bra or strapless bra. So the bra straps will show, yeah? But that's just something that I'm taking into account. And I can just wear it at home in the summer or on holiday, you know, over a bikini, so it doesn't matter. That's the plan. And now the reason why I chose this over other camisoles is because you can actually knit the garment first before you decide on the length of the straps. Because with other camisoles, you're kind of locked in and you have to knit the straps. And then what you end up is, you end up with a with the armholes being way too deep, so you then, you know, your bra is poking out way too much, and I don't like that. So like I said, with this one, I could actually modify the length of the straps, which I've done. So if you can see here the back, I cut it nice and short so that it sits properly, because this is something very, what's the word? Is unique. It is something very, it's a feature in a garment that you have to customize, in my mind, because everybody has different length torsos, right? So if you choose a garment size for your bust, let's say, but you are more a short lady like I am, or more tall, then if you don't have these options to modify it, that, like I said, it locks you into that garment that actually then does not fit you. And so yeah, that's what I try to avoid. Okay, I am back. Now the next finished object was a dream knit, has been a dream knit of mine for a long time. And I made it happen. Sometimes I just say to myself, if I really want to knit this, so I have to cast it on now, otherwise it's not going to happen. This is how I kind of do it, even if sometimes maybe you overwhelm yourself with too many projects. But anyway, this is, maybe you guys can recognize this as the Nordiska My hair is flying all over the place. Oh my god, that is just so annoying. Yeah, this is the Nordiska. And I got, a couple of years ago, I got totally inspired by Inga from the Knitting Traditions, because this is an exact copy of her version, using the same yarn and obviously the same pattern of the Nordiska. And I'm just going to show you the pattern first. It is by Caitlin Hunter. And like I said, I've been wanting to knit this for a long time. I had purchased the yarn in advance, and then a year ago, in the winter, last winter, I made it happen. I'm just going to put this on as well. And I'm going to talk to you about this pattern in a moment, after I showed you how it looks on me. I'm going to stand up. Oh, it is nice. Cannot wait for the winter now. This is a V-neck. Ribbing. You got the cable McLochlainn detail here. So it is top down, obviously, knitted top down. You've got this lovely Fair Isle detail on the sleeves, as well as on the hem. And I'm just going to move back to show you a bit better, perhaps. Yeah, and I'm just going to talk to you about the pattern itself, because there were actually quite a few. I think actually there were 3 features or design elements that disappointed me. The first one is basically in the McLochlainn increase. I shall show you. So if you look here, can you see that here this line where the increase is very neat and nice? Can you see on this side, it does not have a nice line of increases. So what the designer should have done in my mind is to add an additional column of knit stitches and have the increase sit on that side, rather than straight after the purl. This here, after the cable, is a purl, and then you need the increase. This is a mistake in my mind, from a design point of view. You should have, like I said, you should have hidden the increases behind a row of knit stitches. That would have made it look neater. The same on this side in reverse. Can you see there's a nice line here, but that line doesn't exist here. So yeah, that's a bit disappointing, but it's a minor detail. Now the second element that disappointed me is actually the V-neck. Can you see this? The way the V-neck here is knitted, it could have looked better. Once again, if she had actually, because I have knitted a V-neck before, where you then pick up stitches and you knit the ribbing around the V-neck. There's a way to have a 2-stitch column of knit stitches here in the middle, and then go this way. So the way this is knitted is, again, not as, what's the word? Not as good looking as these other ways of knitting because what you do is you decrease. Yeah, you pick up stitches, and then when you knit the ribbing here, you decrease these stitches, and this is what draws this in. But if you have like I said, if you have 2 stitches here and you don't touch them, it gives you visually, it gives you a much neater look. That's the word I was looking for, neat. I'm going to take this off because I'm sweating now. And yeah, and then there was a third factor as well that disappointed me, but I can't quite remember now. Whew, it is hot. I'm going to grab a drink now. I'm drinking a tea, herbal tea. Right, and now the last FO that I want to show you today. And before we finish the video today it's a nice and quick and short one, just to catch up with you guys. Oh, speaking of catching up, please, when you watch this, please put down below in the comments, tell me everything what you're knitting on. I would love to hear that. and just reach out to me and say hi and tell me what excites you the most when it comes to knitting, right? Yeah. So yeah, please do reach out. So before I wrap this up, I want to show you this last FO that I have to show you. In my next video, I will show you all the current WIPs that I'm working on. So for now, this is my last FO. And if you've been following the knitting community here on YouTube a lot, you may have seen this as well before. This is the Bifurca vest. I shall show you the pattern. The Bifurca vest by Teti Lutsak. Very, very beautiful design. When she came out with this design, I think now about 2 years ago, oh gosh, I knew I had to knit this because this is just stunning. Let me find the back and then put it on. Because it's a vest, oh yeah, there, this is the back. Because it's a vest, it's quite tricky and it matches the front exactly. It's tricky to actually find out what the back is. So if you wear it the wrong way around, it doesn't actually matter too much. Oh, cannot wait for the winter when I have to put this on. It is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And I'm just gonna sort my clothes out and stand up a little more. It is quite cropped, as you can see. Yeah, so here's my belly button, quite cropped. So now this construction, excuse me, this construction is very interesting. I think she calls it a modular construction. Yeah, a modular construction. So what you do is you start here by casting on here. You knit the whipping all around, which is many stitches, and you then knit outwards. You knit the collar work. Yeah, so in effect it is actually a massive rectangle that you knit in the round. The increases are here, yeah, for the shaping, and at the back as well you've got the same line of increases. And you have this in the round, you have this rectangle in the round. You have a few rounds of purl stitches in between. You obviously have this collar work here, which was really easy to knit. The chart is very intuitive, and also she provides videos as well how to follow these charts, so it was really easy for me to follow. And what you then do, you kind of split the stitches and you knit the sides, yeah, separately, I believe. You knit this way and this way, then you join them together here. You do the same on this side. You have to knit the armhole, right, the ribbing here. Then you pick up stitches, knit the ribbing on both sides. Then you knit the hem in twisted whip, and then you finished. It was quite an involved project, quite an involved knit, I must admit, simply because of the construction, and not something I've done before. So at first it was a bit tricky, but once you start reading the pattern, don't just read it once, read it twice or even 3 times to kind of get a grip with it, and then you can do it. And what do I have to say? There was something else I wanted to mention. Oh yes, I did use the recommended yarn that Teti recommends, and I used as my contrast color, have I got that here? The main color is this, Semilla Pura. This is the main color, this kind of beige, and like I said, I used exactly the recommended yarn. However, for the contrast color, I used, oh gosh, what's it called? I shall put it down below because I can't quite remember it now off the top of my head. So it was a different contrast color, but I wanted to stick exactly to the same design and the same color combination as Teti has it, because this kind of cream color with this red here, I think is just stunning. Also, one thing to say as well, that I think she's a very, very talented designer, because when you think about it, so she knits this into this direction, right? You knit when you do the color work, but the actual pattern itself, the motif is like this, if that makes sense. So for her to kind of figure out that you need this direction to achieve this motif, to come up with this design, I think is really mind-blowing. I don't know how designers do it. It's really amazing. They must sit there day and night coming up with these designs, and it's just really impressive. Yeah, and that was my last FO that I have to show you today. And I hope I just didn't waffle on too much and went too fast. I hope I didn't. And I think I've mentioned everything about the projects and about the patterns, the designers, the yarn, and how I like the garment in the end, and my experience. And because knitting a garment is one thing, but then when it comes to wearing it, you still have to be happy with it, and it has to be right. So sometimes you do end up with a garment that you actually don't like in the end. But with all these garments that I've shown you today, they all tick the boxes for me. So that's really good. And yeah, that's all I wanted to show you today. I really do hope you enjoyed this little episode. And I hope also that you are happy that I'm back. I really do hope we can do this more regularly. I can do this more regularly. And then we will take it from there. Also, a big thank you as well to all my existing subscribers who stick with me, and even to new subscribers, because I did still receive new subscribers, which is amazing. And I have a few tutorials out there as well, and I hope, I know that because a few editors reached out to me and said, you know, we really appreciate those tutorials. There's only a few that I have out, so I know that they help some knitters, which is great. Although there's so much material out there on YouTube, all these tutorials and technique videos that help us become a better knitter and enjoy our craft and be the best at it that we can. So yeah, on that note, I shall say goodbye now, and I wish you a nice summer, and hopefully we can do this again very soon, where I will show you my current whips, and I have 3 to show you. So yeah, I shall say bye. Take care. Bye bye.